Good morning, guys. It's Leslie at Inskeep Acres. Oh, not a whole lot to show you guys this morning, but I will put my stuff down for milking and take you around, show you what we've got done. I didn't get the camera out this weekend because it was raining on and off, and we were just trying to hurry up and get some stuff done before we got poured on. Well, good morning, bottle babies. You guys are about ready to be weaned, and you're not going to be happy. Excuse me. Maple's doling there. Yeah. I'm going to put my stuff down. Like I said, we'll go for a walk. Alright, I fed these two, so maybe they won't be under my feet quite so bad. Of course, they're going to be. Stu's babies are up and really running around, causing some trouble. There's one back there in the corner. So, what are you two doing? Like having a standoff? Apparently there's one lone chicken out over here. Their coop hasn't been open for, I don't know, several days, so not sure where that chicken's been hiding or if it escaped, but it's their turn to be open today, so I guess that works out perfect. Let's see. Horses are going to be moving for a little while. Show you where back here. So the plan the other day was just to put a temporary fence back up across here. So we've changed all this, but the plan the other day was just to put, whoa, I can't see in the camera. There used to be a fence across here so that we could lock the cows out or up depending on what we were doing. So we just put these gates here temporarily tied together, and we're going to just run some electric fencing from the gate to the post over there, and then the same thing on this side to put that fence back in. And the horses were going to come over here for a little while because, as you can see here, the sows are in the horse pen right now, and we can't have them right here next to Thor without having a solid fence. So we discussed, since we've redone this fence and moved the gate, we've talked about since last year making this another pig section and hog paneling it. So we put the gates in, we didn't get that complete, but we moved to this. So we moved the gate and put a larger gate in down here. I'll tell you why in just a minute. But we hog paneled all the way to this corner by the tree, and eventually it will have hog panels across, and then we discussed hog paneling this to get that finished. That way this can be kind of like a nursery weaned pig kind of area. This half at least, because this gate, I can't even see where it's at on the screen. This gate is a mesh filled gate, so the piglets cannot get through there. I guess the other one is too, but there's other spots that they can get out over there. So we could have this front corner as weaned pigs, open up the whole thing once they get a little bigger, and then they can have this whole space as feeding out feeder pigs. And we moved the gate down here because if the dairy cow is in here for the winter or whatever it may be, the grass isn't quite ready yet, we want to seed this as another grazing option for the dairy cow. And then we'll have 1, 2, 3 areas to rotate the cow through, and we can divide it into smaller sections. And then we will also have the hay field, that once we have less cows, we won't need as much hay, that we can rotate the dairy cow on. So if this is seeded in grass, we don't want them running through to get back to the woods or whatever else. So moving the gate down here, we can open, create a fence from there across to the boys' corner fence here, or corner post. And if they destroy this alleyway, it's not a big deal. I mean, the cows are already in it. We're in it with the skidder. And we can create an area for our round bale feeder. Whoops, that's right down there, that the longhorn gets her head stuck in, for the dairy cow, and any calves we have up in here somewhere. So maybe that'll end up, I'm not sure where he's going to end up putting that, but somewhere. So that is the reason we changed fencing and moved some stuff around. And I think eventually we will move Thor up here and let the sows out in the woods. The cows have eaten most of this back pasture down. I don't think it's quite ready to move them to this one, but it will be shortly. So that's what we've been working on. Here are the boys. I know, you're waiting for your breakfast, huh? Yeah. What are you doing up there, Obi? Watching from a distance? I need to... Hi, Artie. Need to get all these guys clipped. I think the big boys are going to go over to our friends for the summer again. I need to get a hold of them and see when they're ready. Their pasture looked pretty good the other day. So, we'll see. I have a bottle for one of the little girls up in the doe pen. We have 2 kids leaving, I think it's this Saturday. Hi ladies, I know, I'll get your breakfast. They're not real impressed being in the horse pen. Yeah, so I think they're, what did we say? I think she's coming this Saturday. I have to look, I don't remember. It's been a little chaotic. So, Foxy's buckling, and Rosie's doling. Foxy's buckling is weaned, and he's been a little escape artist. These are feeder pigs. Oh, you guys made a mess of your water. I have to change this out multiple times a day because they use it as a swimming pool. Huh. Yeah. What was I saying? Oh yeah, he's been a little escape artist, so he's actually currently in a kidding stall right now because he climbs the corner of my fence and escapes. I forgot. Did I show you guys the turkeys? A friend of ours got a good deal on turkeys. He asked me if I wanted some and he brought some over. So we have 6 turkeys. These are too early for Thanksgiving turkeys, so they'll just be for us. And Rosie's light buckskin doling is going with Foxy's buckling. And I'm having a brain fart moment. But we're going to North Dakota. Yeah, I don't know. She'll correct me if I'm wrong. But this weekend. So So that'll be, well, I'd say the first two to leave, but the first two went to the neighbors right next door. They didn't go far. The sows are moved because they decided they were no longer happy in here and were tearing up my fence. Not tearing it up, but just uprooting it. So this little lady, they named her Liberty, and Foxy's buckling is Tika. Hi, you ready for breakfast? All right, I'm gonna feed her and then I will show you what else we got done. All right, happily fat-fed goat. I will get you guys your breakfast. They're waiting on their grain and their hay. But, so we worked on the fence back there, and we worked on my garden this weekend. So, let's see. I haven't been out here since yesterday afternoon. We'll see how angry some of the transplanted stuff is. We got a new gate, and the little Willie was teaching all of his friends to escape into my garden and eat my plants. So we had to put a little block on each side to keep them out of the garden. We finished all of the fencing, except for right here. I just have a hog panel tied. I think we're going to put a gate here, but we still have to be able to get in and out to finish this bed. So my grapes, oh, those babies must have still been out here because they've eaten some more of my leaves off of my grapes. We put an extra piece of hog panel in here because they were climbing through. This is just temporary until we can get dirt kind of filled back up. I'm not sure where they're coming through. I'm gonna have to watch. Darn goats. But anyway, my grapes are here. They're probably a little close, but this one will take up kind of this space, and I figure I'll kind of trellis one lower, one higher. I don't know. If they're too close, we'll just deal with it. Maybe this one can trellis more this way. And then I have space that I could put more over here for putting a gate here. Obviously, I was going to put some here, but I can't do that. This stuff is just here until I get stuff cleaned up. And my peach trees, they are replacing because Stark has a 1-year guarantee, survival guarantee, and yeah, they didn't make it this last winter, so new ones coming. Jason cut 16 feet off of my garden, sadly, and it was supposed to come out to there across and kind of angle here, but to give more space and just kind of look nicer, he said I didn't need that much garden space. So when he comes home today, this is going to be planted in potatoes. So I think we will plant those hopefully today, and I will still get my garden space, it just won't be within my fence. These moved from behind the sunroom where the animals, goats and every dogs, cats, whatever, could get into them. Obviously the cat will still be into them. I need to put my chicken wire stuff across the top. But we're going to plant sweet potatoes in these. Hopefully we'll get sweet potatoes and regular potatoes done today. And we finished our fence all the way across with a gate over there. None of these green beans have sprouted yet, and little Willie ate and killed that one, ate the leaves off of that one, and looks like he snapped the stem, so it probably won't do well. But I did find some basil. I think I've got basil planted in at least 6 different plants. The zucchinis, green zucchinis that I put new seeds in, are starting to come up. Yellow zucchinis are doing well. I did stick a couple marigolds in here with the basil. Willie ate this cucumber, so I need to stick a new seed in there. Otherwise, everything else here is pretty good. We did go get hog panels, and Jason helped me put the hog panels up yesterday. So these tomatoes, once they're tall enough, we'll start trellising on here, and it'll be like one on each side. Give them a little more space because they are pretty tight. Let's see. Once Jason tills this, the tomatillos and maybe a couple other things will go there. This will get landscape fabric all the way over, and these self-wicking tubs will go in this space. So we still have a walkway, but those can be here instead of along my fence. It made it hard to keep weeds down. I'm going to put a T-post at the 4 corners of the raspberries, and I think take wire to kind of help tie them up, to keep them from falling down. But once I get the ground cover on, then we'll worry about that. This stuff is all coming up pretty well. We do have a couple of the things that died off, but not a huge deal. There's kale we put in. The kohlrabi's doing well. Bunch of the squash doing good. I think acorn had everything die off over there. I put some new seeds in, so if it doesn't come up, well, whatever. It's not that big of a deal. The blue and green Hubbard, there's 2, I think this is blue. 2 blue, 1 green. Put in some new seeds. There's some basil in here. The kale. Another kale. What was here? I think this was spaghetti squash. I'll have to look. These all died off, so hopefully some of those come up. Yeah, so that's spaghetti squash. We have barely 2 pumpkins. This one's not so great. Oh my goodness. You guys are loud. Marigolds in here. Bunch of the cabbage is doing well. Yeah. Some stuff's doing better than others. Well, there was 4 jalapenos in here yesterday. I think something's been in here because this one is now missing. And this is a basil. These peppers here have all died off. I did buy, yeah, something's definitely been in here because the leaves are all missing on that habanero. I wonder if there's been bunnies in here or if it was a goat. Oh! Guess that would explain why my peppers are dying off, because something is eating them. But these are 4 habaneros. 1, 2, 3, 4 that I planted. I think I have a couple slicer tomatoes not doing so well, but I can stick something else in there. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 6 slicers is more than enough if those 2 don't make it. Hi, Stu. And 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 cherry tomatoes. Still doing okay, so that really irritates me about those peppers. I may have to put one of our trail cameras out here to see what's been in here. Most of this is small enough openings on the bottom, or the larger ones, it's covered with chicken wire, so rabbits cannot get in here. I'm not sure. I don't see the baby goats going all the way from down here to over there. So I don't know for sure. I guess. Well, that's gonna bother me until I figure out what's eating my plants. That's what we got done this weekend. I'm gonna go get my chores done so that we can plant a couple different types of potatoes and get some more gardening done. Abel. He doesn't care. Abel. Yeah? Okay. Well, I came to the grain shed to get some alfalfa pellets to use in planting the potatoes, and must have been just the right time because it is now hailing. And I think that would hurt. I've had a couple of light sprinkles on and off. But I'm glad I made it back to the shed before this started. Okay, now that most of it has passed and moved that way, I think I should stay dry now. So I laid the potatoes out. There were 5 pounds of potatoes in the bag that I bought. So there's 5 rows this way, and let's see, 5 rows this way, and I just laid them on top of the ground. There were a few sprouts that had fallen off or were in the bag, so I think I've got, oh, I can't see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of those in between. And I got the wrong boots on now. I'm gonna have mud stuck to them. Sweet potatoes are gonna go about like this. These I cut sections off of a slip and stuck in the dirt, and they have all rooted. Same thing with this one. I just stuck it in here as a trial. So what I did was I took basically one of these slips, and every leaf I cut on each side of it. These little bumps, little nodes, will root anywhere that they touch dirt. So normally I just plant one of these slips, stick it down in the dirt, and that's it. This year I had seen someone do it this way. Figured I would give it a try. So we're going to plant those that way. I'm going to plant these my normal way, and this bed is going to have this one, and then slips in it, and this bed will have just slips. So I am going to take about a pound of alfalfa pellets. From what I had seen, it didn't really say how much, and I'm just going to kind of sprinkle them on the rows of potatoes. I don't know, I might have to go get more, I guess. Like I said, it didn't really say how much to use. Well, I wanted to experiment, so I guess these 3 rows are going to have alfalfa. Those 2 rows are not. I was going to do the whole thing, but I only brought 1 scoop. So that'll be what it is, I guess. And then I brought a bale of straw. I think it should be enough to cover it, but I may have to go get more. So I'm going to go ahead and open that and cover these potatoes, and then we will plant sweet potatoes. Oh, it looks like one bale. About perfect, I think. For the space that I have, I've never done it this way, so I'm guessing my neighbor said she just put down enough just to cover the potatoes. So I guess that's what I think just cover the potatoes looks like. And I will water those in, and then hopefully once the straw is wet it won't blow away. I did put a few posts to mark kind of the outer rows just so I have an idea of where they're at. Once they start sprouting through, obviously we'll be able to tell. But okay, for these beds I just came through and worked up, I don't know, the top 6 inches or so of soil. So I'm just going to, well, maybe dig a hole. Let's see what we've got for roots in here. It's been, I don't know, maybe a couple weeks, so there's lots of roots. And I'm just gonna plant these like that, I guess. My first time doing sweet potatoes like this, first time doing regular potatoes the way we're doing those. Trying to make life easier. Hopefully more harvest with less work. I'm gonna go ahead and do the rest of these. Okay, 6 sweet potatoes, 6 sweet potatoes, 2 that we had started like those, and 5 slips, and then this has 7 slips in it. So basically, I guess I can show you here, I just put 2 sweet potatoes down in the dirt, and from the eyes these little slips grow, and I am going to leave these in here because they will continue to grow slips, and if something dies off or if I find somewhere else to put them, I can plant more sweet potatoes. So like this is a good example. The plant on top, this is kind of a sweet potato shoot that grew off, and it has the roots on it. This one doesn't have as many roots. Some of these down here had a big, like, sweet potato shoot on them. So all we're gonna do for these, normally I have a stick with kind of a Y or a fork on the end, but we're just gonna push them down into the ground like so. And these you can plant kind of as deep as you can get because they will root up this. If you have a stick, you just kind of put it over this and just it pushes it down in. But I've worked this enough that it's not that big of a deal just to stick my whole hand in there. Oh, let's see. And it's that easy to plant sweet potatoes. I have had somewhat decent luck planting sweet potatoes in these beds. They don't grow down, kind of like regular potatoes, so there's not as much digging. It's just however deep you put your slip. Sweet potatoes grow out. One-handed's a little bit hard, but still easy. So there we have it. Sweet potatoes. Throw more slips. Regular potatoes. We'll see how this works. Might have to come in and add some more straw once it kind of settles and starts to break down. I don't know. We'll see. Oh my goodness. I come over to check on my onions and all the stuff that I planted over here, and now they look mangled, but it was either mangle them and try to save them, or it's probably hard to tell, but this is all ivy that was taking over and I had to get rid of it.